Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome back to another episode of another pod. Do not relent. It's WrestleMania weekend, which means we're having a party. Oh, I'm Slidewhistle.
Hello, it is I, Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And it's a good thing you mentioned WrestleMania because you are the one on Wrestle Trial, Slidewhistle. You're being called out for your incorrect statements.
Oh no! Wait, do I get a lawyer for this?
Yeah, Immune. You're the lawyer.
Oh, yes, hello, it is I, Immunization, the wrestling lawyer.
Garg, I'm gonna slam this factoid right onto the bench. And it's that Sugar Bear, one of the recipients of our Papa Cheese 1 month free Patreon thingamajig, left a comment saying, I know it's an older episode. This is on episode 24, by the way, so 2022.
Oh, I love this already. I'm in.
I know it's an older episode, but the Kai and Tai choppy your pee-pee wasn't said to Taka. It was said to Val Venus.
Take that! I mean, I'm pretty sure if I said it was set to Taka, then I probably just mixed up the names. Not out of knowledge, just out of probably speaking too fast. Because I definitely know that Val Venus was the one getting choppy his pee-pee by Mr. Yamaguchi.
Objection, Your Honor. My client Slidewhistle actually does not need to answer this question, and I would like everything that he just said to be stricken from the record, eh?
Okay, bet. Well, that's all we had, so by Ace Attorney rules, you're free to go! Get out of here, kid.
God, I love Kai and Tai so much.
Are they the ones that you wear their shirt a decent amount, or is that someone else?
It's technically Funaki shirt, but it's the Kai and Tai logo.
I also didn't listen to the entirety of that episode, but we were talking about our favorite movies, and also your very scary big shoes that I believe you have even more pairs of now. So if you want to listen to that quality 2022 content, head on over to patreon.com/do-not-relent.
Yeah, we got a hefty backlog of, honestly, so many random things you wouldn't even believe the topics we get into. Because I don't believe them half the time either.
I don't know what we're going to talk about until we've already talked about them.
But today we are talking about the World of Warcraft. We've done it. We made it another another week into the darn thing.
Oh my god, I was like, what is this the year anniversary of? What did I miss? One more week. I've been busy. I've been sticking my hands in many various little pieces of pies, and there's just not enough hours in the day to do everything I want to do.
I've been playing a lot of WoW as well, and it's to the point where this is very un-immunization. I am on the verge of not having completed my current Overwatch Battle Pass because I've just been playing WoW, really.
Gasp! But that Orisa! That is actually a very sick one. It is a shame.
I guess I still have a few days. I guess it's possible, technically, but yeah. I think I'm only about halfway, so it's probably not going to happen.
Time to spend real money! $5 for a Mauga line. Oh, I'm gonna stomp you like Chinese mythological reference.
He says that?
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. It's very meta.
Can't you use your Bing bucks on that?
I don't even know if you can advance the battle pass with just in-game coins. Because that's
you
what
can. Yes.
You can.
Well, I'm sorry, not in-game. I think you'd have to pay real monies.
Yeah, so I don't think my Bing points work for that, unfortunately. So we'll see.
Man, my lawyers are Overwatch broke.
I'm going to start this episode by sipping my little fireball shot that I got at Tyre's party. Oh, boy.
You're sipping... Wait, so your drink for this episode is sipping a shot of Fireball? Like how much of the shot did you just sip?
None yet, because I was thinking of what I was going to say in this statement. And such statement is, it's been a while since I've been around a bunch of straight white guys. That was a lot. We played a lot of Halo, and I was like, I haven't played Halo in forever.
Hell yeah. Like a sleeper agent, you've woken up, you're like, I must do white boy things.
Lord of the Rings must be on the television. And then as soon as Lord of the Rings ended, we had to fire up Master and Commander. Let's go.
Wait, what is going on here? What am I listening?
So when you said that, I realized that I had not unpacked all my goodies from Tyra's bachelor party weekend. So I also have a fireball shot here now, and he gave all of us into like individually like printed mouse pads with like pictures of us all on them together. Did we get the same one, or did we get different ones, Aaron?
No, we got a different one. I got one from Valentine's Day 2017, where we went to a bar and then I used the phrase inner city and got called out. I did a microaggression.
I love this mouse pad. I'm gonna steal this. I'm gonna use it for my mouse pad. It's plush, and I'm holding a knife to Papa Cheese's neck.
I mean, go for it.
Oh, Aaron's in the background giving a thumbs up.
I am, yes. That was the first night we were there. They had to very specifically go, "Where are you?" And I said, "I don't know." And they're like, "There." And like 3 people pointed at little me, and I was like, "Yep, that's me."
That's hilarious. Wait, are you gonna sip on your fireball shot too? Is that what's happening? Because he pulled his out.
I don't know if it's a shot that needs to be sipped upon, so I will take it at some point, either during this episode or at an undisclosed time. We will see. Time will tell. But we have WoW to talk about.
Okay. Well, what'd you guys do in WoW this week? Aaron, what was your WoW week like? Your WW in WW.
I hate to say my WoW week was pretty standard. I minded my P's and Q's. I did everything. It was a shame because this week they felt like they gave us a lot of rep-based stuff, but I have all my main reps done, and I was an ass hair away from being exalted with the Bilgewater, but you can't get individual reps, so the only way to get it was to select them for the entirety of the week. I did 2 world quests, and it's like, congratulations, you're exalted with us, slap on the back, pay $9,000 for a hyena, please. And then I was like, well, what else am I going to do this week? They're like, nothing. You ruined it. It's a bye week now.
It's such a slow rep grind. Like, I wonder what they're going to do in the future to, like, make it easier. I mean, like, I feel like it's just a very long time. I feel like it's going to take your average person far longer than the time that we will be in the Undermine to do all of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, next week, more content is coming. And I'm just starting on my second of 5. Like, that's no good.
They're buffing the cartel reps by 100%. We said it last week and this week because we got some patch notes. So 100% rep buff to all the cartels. So don't bother doing it now.
I'm wiggling my finger. I thought they said that the cartel bonuses were not being affected. Undertale was not. I'm sorry. Undertale. Undermine was not affected, but that was by the winds of change. I'm remembering it now.
Yeah, it's confusing because there's 2 to 3 different buffs. So Dragonfight's 200%, War Within's 100%, and then they added it separately for the cartels. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm glad I waited because now when I go and do my reps, I'll be able to get them done faster because I haven't done a Danny Tallulah quest in a minute.
Y'all, I have an update for Immunization's rep counters.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry, on all of the main War Within ones, I am now at 23 of 25.
God damn it. I thought you were going to say you hit max on one of them.
No.
Well, at least you're making your way there. You're making your progress. Did you do your dungeon?
No, but I'm sure I will do a priory at some point this week, so it'll happen.
I was getting down in the muck. I was doing Mage Tower because I want book. I got my healing Mage Tower quest done on my chamois.
How does it feel tuning-wise currently with War Within gear and such?
Now's the time to do it. If you have a character that has pretty good eye level, you can, I'm assuming, I guess everybody don't know. For Resto Shaman, it felt really nice. And I've been reading, other people were saying this is a good time to get in the Mage Tower if you haven't done that for your character yet. They're also apparently, I'm not advocating doing this, by the way, and I didn't do this on my Resto Shaman, but apparently there is a scaling thing going on right now where you can put on blue 610 bracers. And if you put like the embellishment in there and you get another piece that's blue 610 and put an embellishment in that one, like the Dark Moon Sigil and the Writhing Band, apparently it's blowing up shit because you're gaining like hella versatility, and the scaling doesn't know what to do when you get that much verse. You kind of become unkillable, apparently. So it's still in the game. They haven't fixed it. Is it a bug? I don't know. You're just putting on blue clothes. It's not really a bug.
I feel like over the years that we've experienced the Mage Tower, there has always been something like this, where there's been like a trinket where specifically people were farming from like a very old ass raid that would scale like improperly, and they would use that or whatever.
Yeah, you're fucking telling me. That's what I did in my Guardian Druid. I had to farm the stupid fucking trinkets. That's why, honestly, I hang on to all my trinkets. Just in case there's something I could put it on to break scaling with. So yeah, check out Book. Maybe you can get something done. What else did I do? Oh, I killed my third mythic boss. I killed Rick Reverb with pugs. So, I'm climbing that ladder.
Ricka Reverb.
You are now only 2 away from my prediction being correct. And then I refuse to allow you to finish anymore, because then I'll win some money at the end of the season. Money!
Yeah, they keep nerfing them. Also, what's crazy, I didn't think about this, but like, you can do any of the bosses in any order. I thought you could really only do like the first 3 or whatever. No, you can just straight up, I can get a group that goes straight to Stick Spunk Junker, or a group that goes straight to Sprocket.
So all of the outdoor ones, you can just go out the side door of the Incontinental at the start, clear the trash to the specific one, and then start on any of the first 5, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's why I think Aaron probably nailed his prediction, because pugs are going to obviously, as like the weeks go on, they're going to be like, okay, starting at Sticks, because now we have the gear to do starting at Sticks, starting at Sprocket, because I was confused when it was like starting at Rick Reverb, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, we're moving up that ladder. The Rick fight it's really fucking mean. So those like sound waves, the white sound waves that get fired out and like hit you?
Yeah, and then they also, like, I on the lower difficulties, when they hit you, they put a dot on you, but then I think they also make it so that the future things that you're hit with hurt you more as well.
And then on Mythic, I'm pretty sure that when you get hit by it, you get a stack. But if you get hit by too many, you just get fucking mind controlled. If too many hit you, and people have to hit you and break you out of the mind control, and that's fucking mean. Like, that's a cruel thing to put in there.
Any kind of mind control in a raid is really mean, especially when it's like you get mind controlled if you like fail to do something like properly, as opposed to like if it's just a built-in mechanic that is bound to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like, I guess just dodge, but and then I guess we can talk about raid, right? We can go into what we did in raid, which was the same thing we did last week, pretty much.
Yep, just pushed it a little bit further. Got to Gallywix and just put some honest hard work in.
Yeah, I feel like for most of our pulls, up until like the last like 20 minutes or so on our second night of raid, we like hit a hard wall where we got him down to like in the 60 percentile range maybe, and it was specifically a part where he was transitioning to a different part of the platform. He would drop like giant bomb that you have to run out of, but then there's also the 3 soak circles going out, so like you have to move and soak, and we just like couldn't handle that for a while. But then on our last few pulls, we started trying to warlock gate out and then quickly disperse into soak groups, and like that was the first time that we actually made it past that. And I think what was our best pull, like 50%?
46%, I believe, actually.
We limped into part 3 of the fight one time. He got in his big mech to punch us.
And it's so funny because, like, really for that fight, all we need are more healers. Like, the strat that everyone's using is just off-speccing their healers. 7 heals. Apparently they're saying that, like, I was reading, this fight isn't even a DPS check. It's a healing check. So if you have 7 healers and, like, 6 DPS, you can probably kill it eventually. I don't know if he enrages.
I don't think he enrages, because remember that time when it just broke and like he didn't do anything? I feel like you can just like kind of indefinitely go, I think.
Maybe that'll be our strength, because we do have quite a bit of healers in our group. Like, if we needed to, you can get on your priest. That might be a little crazy to lose your hunter damage, but if DPS doesn't matter, obviously you want the kill on your hunter, I guess, right? Aaron, you could heal on Wigglestein.
Ooh, you know what? I almost did the other day because with Booty ATW becoming somewhat of a competent tank, I was like, I should have somewhat of a competent healer. Not Randleman. I tried splashy water healing once. It was too scary. So I was like, let me go back to Wigglestein. And then I booted him up. I got to the menu and I said, actually, fuck that. I don't want to do that. And that's as far as I've made it.
But he was like, oh, here we go. I'm so close to being played with.
Nope.
Story of his life.
Damn.
Oh, but he's got me in the top 4. I'm gonna get some playtime soon. Sorry, little buddy.
I don't want to play with you ever.
Me with RoboGnome in my top 4 for some reason.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised we got Muggsy. I feel like people were a little testy in raid for Muggsy wipes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was too optimistic thinking that, like, with the nerfs that Muggsy had, that we would just re-clear it pretty easily. But no, we struggled for a little bit, too, so that cut into our Gallywix prog time as well. Just re-clearing Muggsy took us a little bit of time. I think part of it is that on Tuesday and Wednesdays, where we've been killing Muggsy on Wednesdays up until now, I think. So, like, on the 2 days, we have completely different raid group comps because some people aren't able to go on both days. We have more or less people because of that, and then, like, sometimes people show up on Wednesday and then they have to, like, learn the fight, or if they're seeing it on Tuesday for the first time, they have to learn it now. So, like, I think it's just all, like, growing pains because of that. I feel like we almost have to, like, relearn fights sometimes because of it.
Yeah, especially because even, like, we do things like Gallywix. I don't know if it was discussed or it happened on Tuesday because I had to dip out earlier, but we walk in and then Lynn's like, I am healing now. Ahoy's back. And I was like, oh, okay. Not saying Ahoy couldn't, but it's like Lynn now has to learn this on a healer, on a character that I assume he's kept up with, but I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, that's also a whole aspect too, is that Minnie, the man who hasn't had time to do anything else, he can't even get to Undermine, he's been tanking, and then Ahoy's been doing DPS. And before, Ahoy was tanking, so we have a different tank, we have a different DPS, and then on Gallywix, so on Tuesday, we ran a key, me, Immune, Ahoy, Pablo, and Billy. And then as we're running, it was a 12 Floodgate is what it was, Lynn pops into the chat, and he's like, oh, Ahoy, by the way, tomorrow, I'm going to heal. Or I can heal, and then you tank, and then I think having 2 Disc Priests would be good, because, you know, they're kind of OP right now with their shields or whatever. So that's when it was discussed, but it was like a post-raid, like, extra credit scene to get.
It was also when we were, like, sweating our asses off trying to time this 12, which we didn't. We were like, very close, though. We were, like, 20 seconds over, which, like, I think we'll be timing 12 and hopefully 13 soon, but it was funny because it was a little bit of a distraction, but yeah, so that's why that happened, though. I feel like the root of it is that we wanted more healers because, as Slide was saying, apparently people are just running a lot of healers because, as we all feel, this fight hurts a fucking lot.
I was reading that some groups are doing like a half and half ratio. Like you have half as many healers as you have DPS, like a 50-50 split. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. But the damage is fucking brutal. We're nailing phase 1. Consistently, we're getting it. It's giving me Sylvanas vibes, but obviously not as bad because there's not like fucking 9 phases to run through.
You know, nothing will ever be as bad as long as there's not like RP cutscenes, phasing into new arenas, and waiting to like fucking cross those bridges.
We used to lose so many people on those bridges, like just falling through the holes left and right. Oh, they were fucked up for doing that. Shadowlands truly was a painful raid, and I kind of weirdly miss it, even though I was very tired of it at the time.
I'm ready to say it. Shadowlands is nostalgic. I think that's why I actually enjoy going to Theater of Pain. But I feel like we also always defended Shadowlands against the haters anyways, so I don't know. I feel like it's not shocking that we enjoy Shadowlands content coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we were all deep in the trenches for Shadowlands, I feel like, right? Like, that was probably, like, that and BFA, I feel like, were the ones that we played beginning to end the most. Is that wrong to say?
I feel like with Wide-Eyed Wonder, yes.
I also think the timing of it with COVID also boosted my hours in particular.
What I was going to say is, obviously, I've enjoyed every expansion to different degrees, and I've continued to play for the most part. But I feel like there are times, like now, I feel like I have everything downloaded. Yes, I'm coming in day after day. Sometimes it's just in the pursuit of higher number, or like to increase this MMO stat. But I feel like Shadowlands was a glorious time of like, oh my god, this thing's happening. I'm like, I'm trying this for the first time ever.
I kind of want to go back to Zereth Mortis and like craft the mounts I didn't craft, because that was one thing I didn't really have time for, was doing that. And maybe part of the reason why I'm such a big War Within fan right now, maybe it has nothing to do with the content, but maybe it's just that Pablo's back. Because Shadowlands is when Pablo was the one pulling us into keys constantly. He's like, keys. I'm like, I can't tell Pablo no, we gotta do keys. And then he was gone for a couple expansions, and then he's back and War Within. It's like keys. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's fucking do keys, Pablo. Like, let's go.
We hashtag freed Pablo, and now we're happy.
If he was in Dragonflight, I don't know. I just felt the dungeons in Dragonflight, I think I've said this a bunch, I just didn't enjoy them as much. You know, there was just something about them. The raids, though, were really good. The raids have been on point for a very long time. When's the last time we had a raid that we were like, I'm not feeling this one?
I don't know.
I mean, Zereth Mortis was the last time that I feel like I didn't even dislike it. I just disliked aspects of it. But that's just because two of the bosses were unnecessarily difficult. IMHO.
Okay, this has made me think. While we're talking about raid, I am going to bring back a segment that has been quite some time not here. So I am going to say that it's time for a DNR thought.
Papa, tell us a story. Yes, Papa, a story.
How about you come and pull up a chair? These are DNR thoughts.
Woo, I had to brush the dust off of that jingle. It's been that thing's been sitting in my essentials folder for a long time.
Eyeball time.
Oh God. I honestly don't even remember what the context of that was, if I'm being honest. Eyeball time. But that's for another time. That's for another eyeball time. So I was thinking about raids in general because earlier in the week, one of my online survivor friends asked me about if WoW had fights in raids that were as whimsical as this one that he was showing me in Final Fantasy. And the context of, I don't remember the boss's name because like I don't care that much about Final Fantasy, but the concept of it was that it was like a pop star that was like dancing or something, and then randomly in the middle of the fight you would have to like dodge dance moves and stuff. So then I was like, okay, what raid fights would you guys consider the most whimsical, or in the sense that like there are mechanics that are just like fun or out there or just overall aesthetic wise?
The one that always sticks out to me, and I think just because of the sauce behind what it is you're actually doing, is Gelbin Mechatork from Daza. The fact that he's like, I'm gonna shrink you! And then while you're shrunken, it's like, oh, don't step on me, you'll squish me and I'll die! Or while you're small, you have to go into robots and like deprogram them while inside. And then also it's like, I'm gonna go up and shoot exploding sheep at you! Like, it was very intentionally designed to be the silly boss. But that's definitely one that is sillier than others.
And then you have people like yelling at each other, green, no, red, no, yellow, and like.
Or in my case, they were typing it because you were like, I don't want to talk into my computer. So you get in there like, or and it's already over, and it's like, we died again. Just get on your laptop's microphone for God's sake.
Yeah, that was quite the wild time for us because I feel like that was at the beginning of our tenure in Uno Mas, and yeah, I think we were all playing on like varying levels of laptops, and we didn't know the people as well and whatnot. But like my first thought of this was honestly, currently, first off, we have literally a Katamari boss, so like that is something that I mentioned to him. But then like as one that isn't current, I thought of blanking on its name, but it was the council fight in Nathria with like literal ballroom dancing where you had to like follow like their lead.
The dance macabre was the mechanic. I don't know what the fight was
I
called.
believe it was just called like Council of Blood or something because it was 3 Nathrians. It was 3 like, vampire guys. But yes, I know what you're referring to, and yes, I mean that's 1-to-1. They're going like boogie down was an
which
official
is like
sound.
go backwards.
And then it's really added onto the whimsy when you have Honors this whole thing where Honors was like he would die immediately every single time, and we were like, what's going on? And then he'd be like, oh I have desync, my computer's desyncing, I'm unable to do it. And we learned like 5 weeks later he never had desync, he just didn't understand you had to actually follow the dance movements because he put audio off.
Yeah, he had audio off, and we were like, you should like listen or look, and then he was just like, no, like it goes against Bushido, his own warrior's code, to do that. So it's like, okay, I guess you'll die then.
Honestly though, thinking about it, I think Daza's fights are all kind of whimsical if you think about it. Champions of the Light, the first boss, okay, whatever, that's the first boss, can't really count that, right? But second, then you have Grong, which has 2 different versions, depending on if you're Horde or Alliance. A big monkey, big ape, Jadefire Masters, fuck that one. Oh, that's Whimsy, the maze!
Oh, and then also Jadefire Masters on Mythic, because for some reason, I think we were doing the first 3 bosses of Daza on Mythic at this time. Remember, one of them literally sent some people up into the sky where you had to do DDR.
There was DDR. That's right. Yeah, this fight takes a fucking cake. What's Conclave of the Chosen? I don't remember that one.
That was the 4 Zandalaris that when you would die, they would summon their respective god. I mean, I don't remember a lot of whimsy in that one. I remember sweating a lot because we were mages, so we had to be the designated Paku guy. But
God, yeah, fuck that fight. But the Rastakhan fight has Samdi doing that crazy shit when you have to like you're going in the spirit realm, you're out of the spirit realm. That's just like the frogs are coming out of nowhere. Like that's a weird fight.
Honestly, there's a whole lot. Like I feel like every raid tier has at least one boss that has a little bit of whimsy. I feel like because I'm just thinking back again to I forget the raid tier's name. But like the end boss being like Gahoon, like literally playing basketball, where we would send some people up and they're like, our fastest track stars need to go up there to shoot some hoops.
Who's my partner for that? Was it Rosh or Fireballs? Was it Fireballs? I think it was me and Fireballs together.
That was 10 million years ago. Yeah, I don't even know if it's anyone who's here anymore. I think of some absolute runners and track stars, and it's like, yeah, they left in 2021, and it's like.
The BFA raids were so good. It's the cutscenes, we can talk about that separately, but the mechanics and the raid fights itself are just great. I mean, it's not really whimsy, but even like I think when I just think of a WoW fight in general, I just always think of going into Gorfien's belly. Like it wasn't whimsical at all. It was just like, this is a crazy fucking mechanic. Like what the fuck are we doing in here? Get me out of this man's belly with his little tootsies in the water.
But yeah, I think we did a pretty good job of answering this DNR thought. So thank you, boys. I will report back to Zachary with these findings.
Yeah. Now it's time for an eyeball time.
Eyeball time.
Eyeball time.
Eyeball time.
I have finally, now that the patch has come out, been able to take Squirm, my little shadow priest boy. He's still alive. That's right. Not dead yet. We went to Dalaran, and we were able to pick up the fucking priest Legion artifact quest after being locked out.
True. Because the city is no longer under Nerubian attack. It's dead, so you're allowed to go back in time and do that. I wonder how long that's been a thing.
I am gooped by this. It's been so long that I honestly forgot that you were never able to do this.
Yeah, so for those who don't remember, I was trying to do the Xalatath Shadowblade storyline on my Shadow Priest before War Within came out, and was, as we've said, physically unable to because he was under siege by spiders. So I was on my lunch break today, and I was like, okay, what can I do my lunch break? And I was like, oh, let's take Squirm, and let's get him to get some Xalatath lore, because I haven't played a priest, that last expansion, last patch was my first priestly go. I've never even been inside of the Legion Artifact Hall for priests. Kind of say it's a little bit boring. Is there more to it that I'm not seeing when I got in there? But I talked to Velen. We walk in there. The first thing I fucking do is suck a fucking big ass void entity into Xalatath, and it creates this beautiful Naru with a real ass voice who is like, "I'm free. The void is now silent in my head." And I'm like, that's what you fucking sound like, Sarag.
Listen, Sarag went through a lot. You would sound a little shaky too if the void was like consuming you for eons.
These guys are living wind chimes. They have to use wind chime type voices to communicate. Come on.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked she wasn't more wind chimey. I mean, like, was it just wind chimes? Like, it was interesting that she had a voice. And so I got in there, I started to do the quest, and then I got hit with the, okay, now do a mission table quest, and in an hour, check in. And I was like, oh my fucking god, I forgot. That's right. The hour-long mission table quests, keeping me from continuing the story until it's finished.
Did you even have the order hall open, and did you have followers to send out?
They did the thing where it's like, talk to Kalia Menethal. She's a human still. Talk to Mr. Priestman in the corner. And then, like, you know, they were my bodyguard or what, the whole thing. But it's just funny that, like, they still make you do that hour-long mission table wait. I mean, like, I know it'd be a lot of work to retroactively go back and, like, tweak it. But, like, goddamn, that was my lunch break. I was like, well, guess I'm doing something else now.
Honestly, at this point, it should be, like, a 1 minute thing. Like, they could change that.
Yeah, but they're like, why would we? So that's my eyeball time. Getting Squirm reacquainted with the Xalatath woman before she was, out and about.
Now, let's go from eyeball time to a girl who's always got her eye on the ball because she's part of And One. And One. Oh, I forgot to announce it's Growlina. It's Growlina. Hello again, all. Growlina here on the scene to bring you the briefest break in this pulse-pounding content. I'm here with Muslin, who claims they were kicked out of the Intercontinental Hotel. What did you do to earn this honor, Moose? The manager said I was threatening the guest with an improvised explosive device, whatever that means. Were they perchance talking about the Molotov cocktail that you appear to be holding in your hand? Well, maybe, but they gave me this. I didn't make this. I just cleared out some baddies and some goblin gave me this as a reward. Why would they get mad at me for having it now? Also, I'm a goddamn mage. I can summon flaming meteors and phoenixes to burn down my enemies at will. That's all good, but as soon as a guy equips himself with a little extra firepower, then we have an issue? What can I say? We truly live in an unfair world. Well, we here at DNR will be fighting for you, and you at home can help support Moose's GoFundMe for his upcoming legal case, which will be linked in the description. Undermine only has one hotel. You legally can't kick someone out of it. It's in the rules. Until next time, I've been Growl.
Hey everyone, it's me, improving an intro to the second part of the show. How am I doing?
Well, you're doing great, Mr. Figglesman.
It's me, Joseph Figglesvan. I'm stepping in for Persephone. Stop playing with Bird 2.
I hear it. Okay, let's do improv round part 2. Okay, so imagine that you are in like an Asian boutique, okay? You imagining this? Like a store, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so then a customer comes up to you, you're working there, and they ask you where the chili powder is. Okay, ready? And scene.
Well, wait, okay, but before we go in, I'm Aaron, last name Little White Guy.
No, you're Figglesman.
Okay.
Bird is going
Up
ham.
your...
Yeah, it really is.
Up your butt and around the corner. That's where the spices are.
Okay, and scene. Everybody, that's improv. If you want to see more of this,
Improv time.
Oh no! Improv time.
speaking of improv time,
The darkest thing a friend of a friend can hear. You're going to my improv show, right?
Ah!
improv time. We have the patch 11.1.5 official patch notes. Have you guys checked these out yet?
I actually have not, so I'm curious if there's anything on here that like we didn't already talk about, or if there's any, because like I feel like sometimes they sneak in little surprises.
So, let's see. We have the classic stuff. We talked about all this stuff. Arathi, cooldown manager, horrific visions. Talked about all that last week. Dastardly duos, class changes. Y'all ready for this? Warrior, arms. The visuals for the Warbreaker ability have been updated.
Yes, please. We've been clamoring for it for years.
Yes, all of us arms warrior mains have been saying for so long that the, what was it called? Warbreaker visuals needed to be updated. So it's about damn time.
That's literally the patch notes. That's literally.
Wait, excuse me. That's it.
That's literally the
That's
extra
the
piece.
only patch note. Why put out the notes?
It's like classes, warrior arms, and then it's like, okay, the rep thing that we knew about, and then it's like, and then there's like, you know, the small buff fixes that don't matter. Like, there is now a filter, show collected only, for Warband Campsites collection. New colorblind option, fix an issue where players cannot select auto and key press option under the self-cast settings. Like, just like stuff like that. We can now change guild name with money. Maybe we'll go back to Phoenix Fusion. Who knows?
You know, the thing is we could, because Crit renamed it, so we could hypothetically take that name. Although, like, I feel like that would cause drama and strife.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to change the name unless we are just feeling like wasting 200k, and we can do as much time as we want. It's just gold now, so
With
like,
it
what?
being just gold now, wait, did it used to be like American currency?
Yes.
Like real life.
So that was the whole issue when we were changing the reintroduced name from Shenanigans to Unomas, was that I was like, guys, I will just pay like for the change. And they were like, or Getta was like, well, only you hate the name. And I'm like, no, like, I'm speaking for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people don't like the name. Like, it's not just me. Like, there's a lot of people that hate the name.
And then we had a poll to determine that a lot of people didn't like the name.
Yes. Anyway, so now that's changed. But, okay, there is one thing that we may be like, oh, okay, I guess. And it is, shopping cart functionality has been added to the trading post, allowing players to add multiple items into their shopping cart before confirming a purchase.
That is something that is both a nothing burger, and also when I look up to the upper right here and a thought bubble appears, it's something I like.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm going in there and and I want a bunch of things, save me the clicks.
Yeah, and then you can just see exactly what you have the money for.
That said, whenever I go to the trader's post, it's always like choosing between which clone to shoot in a horror movie. Like I'm tentatively, they're like just scared at like actually clicking the accept button. So to have the gall to just be like, nope, that done is it's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we already talked about it, but this month's Trader's Post, it does not have a lot of offerings that are appealing to me. To the point where I'm like, I want to buy something. So I did buy my frozen mount, you know, the one that gives you a toy that can then everyone else can summon the horses to, the dead looking ones, whatever. We had this conversation last time, whatever.
It's red and gold and spiky and a horse. Even I forgot the name and I said it last week. Something hitching post.
And like, even though we've talked about all of this, and we talked about how the toy then is sent to you in the mail, I was like, ooh, I got mail. What is this? And then I opened it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we did talk about this.
Have you ridden the horse in air yet?
I have not. I literally just forgot about it after I learned it.
I challenge you to ride the horse in midair and get back to us with a review on how you feel about it. Whether positive or negative, it could be either.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate that you did not guide the way that I should feel about this for any reason in any way, so I will have an untainted opinion next week on the show. But that was not the point of this. Oh, yeah, I also was like, oh, I should find one other thing this month to buy. So I ended up buying that fucking parasol toy that has, like, reared its ugly little face so many times where I'm like, I almost bought it in the past because it was like somewhat cheaper. It was like 150 or 200 tenders or whatever, and it was a toy. And like, I always want to get toys because like there's always achievements for having more toys, right? So I was like, oh, that's fine. And then I show up to raid and see that like there's a line of like 6 of y'all just like sitting there in front of Gallywix with like parasols.
Yeah, say the thing is, only you and I forgot the other person, so I apologize if it's a listener. Only you guys were rocking the one that cost traders money. Pablo and I were being cheap beans and just using our Shadowlands Countess's parasols, which I believe you just picked up off the ground.
You know, for the record, if somebody else didn't also have the fancy one and I wanted it to be a pattern where it was like alternating every other, I would have just put the... it was a Revendreth one, right? That you guys were rocking?
Yes.
No one told me. I would have pulled out my parasol. I didn't know this was happening. What was I doing?
There was actually a lot of chatter, but it was in /say, so...
Yeah, and you were too busy talking about a cave for me to go into. And I still don't know what you meant by that.
You were going to go exploring, weren't you?
I guess so, yeah, because I had my stupid floppy hat that we'll hear about in roughly 15 minutes' time.
Explore my cave. Go exploring. Go on. Get in there.
It would be rough. It wouldn't even be fun. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but
you think it'd be rough,
you're made of rock. I know perhaps water and time could have eroded you into a smooth shape, but I'm just worried about my dang ding dong getting crunched.
I'll let you know it's grass covered, like felt, but longer.
Oh, it's like how like some of those creeks, like it's like a rocky like bottom of the creek, but it like, okay, yes, rocky bottom, but like it's covered in moss, so it's like slippery.
You call it a creek, I call it a crack.
I really set us up for this one, didn't I?
Rusticon's ass.
You know, we even so much as mentioned BFA, and we've returned to our roots here.
Guys, I know you guys were really worried about this, but the DNRs are coming. They made a post about it because he won't shut the fuck up about them. They said, we haven't forgotten. We'll have more details to share about the implementation of puzzling cartel chips soon after the patch goes
Didn't they
live.
just announced those last week? People were like, more! It's like, we're still figuring it out. I'm sorry.
I'm obsessed with how people make announcements for announcements. It's like probably one of my favorite things. I think because it's so unnecessary, but like, it's also like, don't worry, everyone. Tomorrow, I will have something to say.
This is my warning to you all out there. The Eye of Kazan is a great trinket for everybody if the fight meets certain parameters. The fight has to be long for the Eye of Kazan to be good. I don't use my Eye of Kazan anymore because some of our raid encounters were wiping like a minute in, 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in. Eye of Kazan was only really good at like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And then even then, it's like I could have had a trinket on that would help us more in that first 4 minutes.
You know, I have something to say about trinkets, this tier. And
go off,
it's
Queen.
that, yeah, I will go off. And it's the fact that no guides anywhere have said that the fucking worst trinket that drops off of One Arm Bandit, the fucking Galagio bottle service one, and maybe I just have Stockholm Syndrome, because it's the only fucking trinket my priest has been blessed with this entire patch so far. I've gotten it at every fucking level I could have it at, all the way up. So I've gone through 3 fucking versions of it, and it somehow is still simming the best. And not only is it simming the best, but I enjoy it. I'm like, again, it's 100% Stockholm Syndrome because I've not been given anything better, but I'm like, oh, I know that I can press this, and then I'll just start chucking bottles everywhere, like, and then people won't die. I'm like, work trinket, you know, like it's something.
Yeah, if you don't know about the Galagio bottle service trinket, not only do you just start hurling bottles of booze at people, but it changes your outfit. So I tested it on my Earthen, and it put a nice suit on him. And then he goes, and with both hands is just throwing bottles. And the minute he's done,
is it just during the animation?
yes, the suit goes away the minute you're done throwing bottles.
Yeah, and also, like, I learned this somewhat recently, which is kind of embarrassing because, as I said, I've had this trinket on my priest all patch at varying levels. But I realized that, like, I thought you couldn't move at first when you did it, but, like, after you press it, like, after a split second, then you can, like, also move and continue to cast it. So you can run around and start throwing bottles and with your little suit on. But if you start casting another spell, it cancels it. So for all of my Galagio bottle service stands out there, there's a little hot tip for you.
Yeah, you probably don't want that with your DNR unless you want to wear a nice suit for, 7 seconds?
I want to be very clear. I'm not recommending this as a DNR usage. I was just saying that I am thankful for what the vault has blessed me with time and time again.
Get the fucking spare keys. I want everyone to live through the spare keys. They're great. I love those guys. Last night I threaded the needle somehow. I missed 2 goons and fucking Gallywix's enormous head. And I was like, only you, Trike. Only you. See you in 2 minutes, buddy.
I was standing by you at some point, and it scared me when it came out. I was like, I had not
people can see it.
I had not noticed it until yesterday, though.
Yeah, I love it because it's too big too. Like, it's not the same size as the bikes from the first fight, but I think it's like 75% the size. Like, an entire model is coming out of me. It's not just like a little fireball or something like that.
WoWhead, we have to have a talk again. I don't know if it's just Jezretraz doing this, but these articles that are Draenei decorations we definitely want in player housing are top 5. They do this for every race. Like, it seems like every week, maybe.
They're probably told that anything with player housing in its title will get clicks, and they just were like, especially now that, like, honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Like, we literally just talked about how the official patch notes had 1 additional item this week compared to last week, and it was about, like, a fucking warrior animation being updated. So it's like, there's not much to talk about at this time, so that's probably why they're like, yes, let's do this. And okay, so I assume Slide is going to send this in host chat. This is sad, WoWhead. You can do better than this. Like, I would rather have think pieces about the state of the game than this, if I'm being real.
Everyone's favorite space goats certainly have flair in furniture, particularly when it comes to sitting arrangements. Some of their chairs are out of this world.
And it's just a busted, like, wooden chair clipping into the ground with a purple seat. Bro just went to Shadow Moon Valley and said, I got bills to pay.
Listen, Aaron, this is in our top 5 must-haves of all of Draenei culture. It's this ugly ass clipping into the ground, you don't even see the bottom of it, chair that has, like, threads of scrapped thread on top of it. Like, this is the best you guys could come up with, WoWhead. If you're gonna fucking do this article, do it real, especially for my fucking people. Like, I am guaranteed I could make a better article about what Draenei furniture needs to be included in the game, and you know what, I fucking will. Like, I'm giving myself homework. I'm gonna make a better top 5 than this.
You mark my words now. If this shit comes out and we do not day one get the food, herbs, and spices that we desire, we are rioting.
Guys, it's just bushels of grain, unidentified green grain. Like, that's not really furniture. It's just grain.
What I'm saying is, like, how is this bucket of grain any different than the plague-infused ones in that dungeon we hate? Like, this is in your top 5?
It's got to be someone new trying to cut their teeth on, like, making content, but, you know, I'm not over this nasty fucking couch. It's just a regular ass couch, wooden purple couch.
You know what it's giving me? Have you guys seen those TikToks about, like, people who don't know? So there's this whole thing about how certain bars and restaurants have these chairs up against the bar that aren't chairs. They're ones that you supposedly lean against. That's what it's kind of giving.
It is because you'd have to do like the Asian squat on this chair just to even sit down on it. This thing is so like low and parallel to the ground. There's no seating.
I'm excited to see your top 5. I'm really jazzed.
It'll be better than this, and even that's like even if I like put like 2 minutes of effort into it, I promise you it'll be better than this. This is insulting to my culture.
I'm gonna laugh when you get there and you're like, oh, there's not a lot of shit here.
You're like, yeah, I'm really feeling lame by saying I wasn't gonna put the tomato vine on there.
Yeah, like what
Number
the fuck?
2, tomato vine.
You know, Draenai's favorite thing, it's tomato vines. And you hear those horns a blowing. Someone's a-oogoing in the distance. It's time for our top 2. Bottom boot, sewer sloots, hobba hoots.
I feel like I not to be a stinkler, not to be immune. All the kids, boo. But we gotta
Why
rein
am
this
I
in.
catching strays here, Aaron? The fuck?
Well, because I feel like usually Slide puts that up.
Sewer sloot.
Slide puts up all these silly ones, and then I go, yeah, like the little goon that I am. And then it's up to you to then rein it in and be like, we gotta stick to the 3. But what I was gonna say
I've given up. He's out of fucking control here.
What I was gonna say is we've done silly billies for the last 2, now 3. We need to rein it in so if someone comes in and they see our t-shirt only has 3 options, they're not confused. They're like, we're sewer sloot.
People were craving a sewer sloot.
What is your many things, Slide?
Oh, I got a honkin' hoot this week. No, I don't really have a
honking
honkin'
hoot.
No, I think I just have a top 2 this week.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Guys, it's a top 2. You guys were talking, it's a fucking medium moot. Where's the energy?
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Holy shit, we're tootin', boys. You ever hear that? We're tootin' out here. Rootin', tootin', shootin'.
Give us
that
the
could be one.
2.
Toot-toot.
Since when do we fucking toot ourselves? What are you doing over here, Slide?
Guys, we gotta add some pizzazz. Come on, where's the pizzazz? Anyway,
It's the fucking 53-minute. People who bought in. Everyone else left after GOTP.
I keep the energy going all episode. Okay, I have top 2 though.
Are you wanting us to toot again now?
No.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Keep interrupting me with your guys' toots. You guys are bringing the energy. You know, you're bringing the power. Just let me know when I can continue.
Toot. Okay, go.
Carry on.
My top 2 is, guys, I did the Mage Tower.
Okay, so congratulations first off. Also, Slidewhistle had a little bit of nerve to complain a little bit about the Healer Mage Tower, and I was like, you should have tried this shit on a Holy Priest back in the day. It wasn't fucking impossible, but like also we have auditory of that on this podcast because when I was losing my fucking mind at it, and like I feel like it's hard for any of the healers really, but like
Does
obviously
Resto
hardest for
have
Holy
the
Priest.
same one as you? Do all healers have the same one?
Besides Disc Priest, which they have one of the DPS ones.
Interesting.
I think the only issue is it's just long. Not long, but like I can only imagine how hard it had to be back then. Just like I really wish they would add like a skip RP option because like you're just waiting for like them to walk forward, tell their story, become targetable. It's like a really weird process. It felt easy, and I'm assuming it has to do with the scaling. Like that's why I remember I was reading that it's better to do Mage Tower now. It's a good time to do it.
Okay, so how many more do you have to do before you have book?
I think I have to do 4 more.
Do you have a character in line for your next up?
So I was looking at them and like I think that enhancement shaman is one. So I'm like, do I just learn enhancement? I was playing enhancement on Gum-Gums, and I also forgot that you get the Mage Tower set recolors for doing them these days. Because before when I did it, last time I did it was on my bear just to get the werebear alternate color. But when I did it on my Wrestle Shaman, I got this really sick looking fucking green like Legion set. Like it looks awesome. It's huge and sparkly and like electric. So I'm like, well, if I do it on my enhancement shaman, I'm not getting anything. You know what I mean? So I might be getting just my army of ults ready to gear up and go into battle again, I guess. Aaron, what was yours? Was yours the twins?
No, mine was Agatha, the big ball.
Okay, so that's the Pharaoh. I did that in the Pharaoh Druid. That was annoying too, but
Do you even need to gear up, or does it scale?
I guess when I say gear up, I just feel like I felt really, really nice on Wrestle Shaman. Like, I was like, I can do this. I can get through the motions. I can just learn it. So maybe I don't need to, but I think it feels good because being 668 scales better than being 630 is my assumption. I guess I don't know that. I just get blue bracers. Aaron, what's your TTBBMM?
Well, I also have a top toot this week.
Toot toot!
After the notification sitting on the right side of my screen for weeks, I decided, oh yeah, I should probably go fight the underpin. And I did it!
Toot toot!
I decided to spice it up even more because I was doing my duty and kicking the bombs at his little goons to get rid of them. And after about 2 waves of that, I decided they really only kind of do the one attack, huh? I could probably just ignore this, right? So I proceeded to just fight the underpin. He does not just keep the same amount out the whole match like I thought he would. He keeps spawning them in, and it does get pretty hairy when you have 9 of those guys shooting at you.
I was going to say, how many did you have going at once?
Like 9 or 10. We were towards the end. I mean, you're supposed to scorch in the last 30% anyways, because that's like a fire mage thing. But we were pretty much just scorching because I had to move the entire time. There was not a single moment I could get out of cast without something flying at me.
Yeah, those fucking beams are crazy when they're just... And then, like, they spawn, like, randomly, right? So, like, they're all over the place, and some are just, like, way in a corner.
I'm not going to front with y'all. I have not tried the underpin yet this season. Also, I don't know if this is a weird bug for me. On both my mains, I have the ability to pick up a quest from Bran at, like, the Delve Central to go and kill Zekfir. I'm like, is that even possible? Can you even go do that anymore? So I even tried to, like, give it away. I, like, abandoned the quest. And no, I could still pick it up. So I'm like, what is this? I'm like, can you even go to Zekfir's lair?
No, you should follow that quest and follow the marker and see if it lets you. Because you're not... I think Zekfir's lair is closed. So it'd be really funny if it's just, like, you can just do it.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
But yes, I then got Bran's spare hat, which I don't know if it's just on Worgen or what's going on, or if it is his actual old model hat. Looks bad. Looks real bad on my head.
It might be a Worgen thing.
I don't know. But speaking of a Worgen thing, let's shoot it out to my favorite Worgen, Immunization.
Oh yes, famed Worgen main here, Immunization. And this week I have a sewer sloot for y'all.
Sewer sloot.
Sewer sloot.
This is equivalent of a bottom boot. And it is that sometimes you get real shitters and pugs for no reason. And this was like afternoon before raid. We tried to pug a 10. It was a Theater of Pain. And it was myself, Slide, Pablo, Kojax, and then we just needed to pick up a 5th DPS because no one else was online because it was a weird time in the middle of the afternoon. So we got this Paladin. And it seemed fine. Like, we were joking around before, right? We were like, this one's for... Oh, I actually do remember his name, but I don't know if I should say it.
Yeah, it's Atlas, and then the second A has a little tilde over, and he's from the server Zekthul, I think? Zek, whatever the troll guy is. Zookdraw? I can't remember, I'm drunk.
Yeah, put Atlas on blast, honestly. I don't know why I was trying to be coy here. Fuck this dude. Anyways, it was a very fucking smooth run, too. We timed it. And not only did we time it, we got this man, his Keystone Master, because it pushed him over the threshold he needed. We killed it with like 5 or 6 minutes to spare.
9 minutes to spare.
So what, did we +2 it even then? That's fucking crazy.
I think we only +1 to it.
Anyways, we did very well on this, and like I feel like only a few people died throughout the entirety of it. We were pumping DPS, but like this man had something to say. He was typing the entirety of the dungeon. Like for the first sign of it was when we were in the hallway, the wing of Theater of Pain, where you had to go from platform to platform over to the boss that got reworked, and Slide got stuck on a platform because the emissary spawned as the rest of us were going to the next platform, and because it spawned on Slide before he clicked on the portal, it put him in combat, and he couldn't go to the next platform until, like, the emissary timed out. So then he was like, healer, where are you at? And then after that, then he just continued to lip off, and the text chat popping off the entire time. Like, there was at some point in the wing when we were going to, like, the fight pit boss, where an emissary we were not able to kill. Honestly, it was during a pack where there were just like a lot of ads. Personally, it was kind of hard for me to single target the emissary, and I was just like, oh, my AoE and everyone's AoE and whatever will kill it, but it didn't. So then he said, he popped off in the chat and he was like, guys, why are y'all popping off with your AoE and not single targeting this emissary? Like, that's unacceptable. Be better, and then maybe I'll be better. I'm like, Jesus, dude, what the fuck? And then he proceeds to die, being the only one to die in a boss fight on the hook boss.
Yeah, this guy was a real treat. He was so worried about getting his own portal, and we were like, we already have our portals. Like, chill the fuck out, dude. Like, what? I wanted to throw the key. I wanted to be like, guys, let's just like wait 9 minutes and just let this key go to 0, make him mad so he leaves. We could just 4-man it. But I was like, it's fine. We'll just do it.
Yeah, so basically, my bottom boot or sewer salute is that every once in a while I'm reminded that there are really shitty pugs out there, and I'm like, I'm thankful for our group of people that we normally run things with.
Yeah.
And speaking of the people that help things run, let's talk about our patrons. They include Ahoy Vince, Azarin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Miskit the Orchid Orc. Mitch wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix. Chromone, the inaugural Dornagooner. Alternator, Saracen Hawk. Justin, give me back my PhD. Arcane. Remy. Kick Puncher, Baba Booey McGee. Thanks for sticking around, buddy. Brodsky, Suzuku, Dupes the Achievement Hunter, Sugar Bear,
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman, Jerome, Ollie, Adorno, Losing the Patient, Gershie's going to East Hills, Duff the Horde Pooper Cooper, Calcus,
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Cilantro, Adam N, Vanderlyle,
Can you dig it?
and Will, aka Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
As said previously, you can join these patrons at patreon.com/do-not-relent, where we do funny episodes of us drunk, talking about things and stuff. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
Well, you see, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at Newt or at Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Bigacheesy on Twitters.com, and watch me play videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
Also, heads up, you can join our Discord by going to DoNotRelent.com, which has all of our links, including our Discord.
Peep 'em out. Use your peepers and your finger clickers and access our World Wide Web before they shut us down for being too woke. And remember,
I think dogs should vote.
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.